Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back everyone to our course, Word Classes and Phrases. It's part of Basic English Grammar. Our today's topic is all about noun articles. Let's start with this never heard of legend, legenda dari Kurniawan. Pada zaman dahulu kala, hiduplah seorang raja muda dan ganteng bernama Heri Kurniawan. Raja tersebut memimpin kerajaannya dengan adil dan bijak. Sampai suatu saat, seorang penyihir tua dan jelek mengutuk raja itu menjadi seorang dosa. Ini tampilan raja setelah menjadi dosa. Alright, what is interesting about this legend, short legend, is this appearance of all these little words. Seorang tersebut seorang itu. In the first context, seorang appears before raja, right? Seorang raja. In the second context, seorang comes before penyihir, and then tersebut comes after raja, and itu comes after raja. Okay, so what is true across all these different words and where they appear is they always accompany nouns, right? Raja is a noun, and penyihir is also a noun, right? And in grammar, these are called articles. Okay, so articles are little words that accompany nouns to provide or to supply some additional grammatical information about amount or number, or some specific reference and other grammatical information. Alright, now let's read this point. Proudly he runs free through grasses growing high, then suddenly catches sound on wind that's passing by. He knows that sounds means danger, so he neighs rather than cry, to warn other wild ones who are grazing there nearby. Then off they all go racing, their hooves beating ground, and all that I can hear is rumbling, thundering sound. So if you don't pay real attention, it seems that there is nothing wrong with the point, right? But if you pay special attention to the words in red, there is something missing. Can you guess what they are? The articles. So all the words in red don't have the article. So now we have the full version with the article coming before the noun, right? The grasses, a sound, the wind, a resonating cry, the other wild ones, the ground, and a rumbling, thundering sound. Okay, so all nouns, most of all nouns in English come with the article, and that is something that is quite different from Indonesian, where we can explicitly mention the article, or we can drop them out. Okay, so it's optional in Bahasa Indonesia. Alright, let's lead this short exchange. I don't get it, Pete, Jane said to her cousin. Why do you fish at Murphy's pond if old Mrs. Murphy is a witch? The fishing's great, and the old Murphy house is over a hill behind the pond, Pete replied. We'll be okay as long as we stay away from the house, he continued in hushed voice. They say kids who go into that house are never seen again. Now, observe the words in red and white. What makes them different in usage? Okay, so we now see a word in white, and some words are in red and white. Okay, so a witch, the fishing, the old Murphy house, a hill, the pond, the house, a hushed voice, right? And so obviously there's this difference between the use of a and the, which we'll see in a moment. Okay. Now, how to use a or and. So, a is used to supply information to the nouns about one thing or a person. For example, Alice works in a bank. Or can I ask a question? Or haven't got a car. Okay. There is a woman at the bus stop. So all these nouns obviously refer to one single entity, one single bank, one single question, one car, or one single woman. Okay. In terms of the difference with and and is used before the words whose pronunciation starts with a vocalic sound. For example, do you want an apple, right? Because the word apple, 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 right, starts with a vocalic, this vocalic sound, so do you want an apple? The same is true of the second one. I'm going to buy a hat, right? Hat is not pronounced with the first vowel, like a vocalic sound. Hat, that's a consonant, and so we use this article instead of an, right? Meanwhile, umbrella, umbrella. So the word starts with this vocalic sound, right? An umbrella. Then we have to use this article and. So I guess and how we use the two is quite straightforward. Okay. We use or and when we say what a thing or person is, right? Like the sun is a star, football is a game, right? Dallas is a city, a mouse is an animal, Joe is a very nice person. So when we define something, when we describe some features, characteristic, traits, then typically we use an before the noun. Okay. Like in this case, I'm a dentist, right? To describe her profession. Yeah, here are some other examples. Like, what does Mark do? He's an engineer. Would you like to be a teacher? Beethoven was a composer, right? So we use or an for jobs or professions. Now, here comes some more explanation about an versus some. So or an is used with singular countable noun. Okay, like I need a new car. Would you like an apple? Right? You can count cars and also we can count apples, right? Meanwhile, some can be used to accompany plural countable nouns. So I need some new shoes, which means that I need more than one pair of shoes. Okay. Would you like some apples? Which means that the person is offering more than one apple, right? Some can also be used with uncountable nouns, nouns that we cannot quantify, like water, money, music, and so on and so forth. For example, I need some money. Would you like some cheese? Okay. Or we can also use a measure word like, would you like a piece of cheese, right? Now, let's compare some and some. Linda bought hat, some shoes, and some perfume. You can sense the difference, right? Linda bought single hat, and then some pairs of shoes, and some amount of perfume. Okay. All right. Exercise 1. I'd like you to fill in the gap with an or some. Number one has been done for you. I read a book and listened to some music. Okay, you cannot say I read some book. That's wrong. That's ungrammatical, right? Because it's supposed to be I read some books and listened to music. That's wrong, because music cannot be quantified or uncountable. Okay. All right. And then and versus the. For example, can you open a window? So in this context, there are three windows: window 1, window 2, and window 3. So what this expression means, the woman, perhaps a teacher or mom, is asking a girl to open one of these three windows, right? It could be any of these three. It could be window 1, window 2, window 3. Okay. But if there's only one window in the room, for example, you should say, can you open the window? Because it's obvious that the window she's talking about is that window, the only one in the room. Okay. Now, can you feel the difference? So when the reference is a bit generic, could refer to any possible nouns being mentioned, then is used, right? Like in this case, it could refer to window 1, window 2, window 3. But when the reference is already obvious in the mind of the speaker and in the mind of the hearer, that person she's talking to, then use the. Okay. For example, I've got a car. It's not a very specific car. It could refer to any kind of car. Okay. Can I ask a question? Same, right? Is there a hotel near here? There are many hotels, and I'm just asking whether there is one near here, for example. Or Paris is an interesting city. Lisa is a student. Okay. Let's compare that to this. I'm going to clean the car tomorrow. The car here referring to my car, the car I owned. Can you repeat that question? Because it refers to the question that my student asked. We enjoyed our holiday. The hotel was very nice. It refers to a very specific hotel that we spent some nights at or in. Paris, the capital of France, right? So capital is only one, so it's quite specific, right? Lisa is the youngest student. So there's only one youngest student in the class, okay? So you use to refer to some specific objects in the room: the light, the ceiling, the door, the floor. Okay. Exercise 2. I'd like you to fill in the gap with an or the. For example, number 1, we enjoy our holiday. The hotel was very nice. Can I ask you a question? Right. And you do the rest. All right. And then exercise 3. There's a story. But some nouns are incomplete or they lack something, especially in this case, of course, articles. And so I would like you to supply the appropriate articles. Look at number 1. After they got to the pond, in this case, the is added. The witches were forgotten. So the is added here. Okay. So you guys do the rest. Okay. And the last one is souvenir or homework assignment. I'd like you to find 10 sentences from an English newspaper online, and each sentence contains articles. For example, the president of Indonesia stepped down, which I took from Jakarta Post, 21st May 1998. And so you highlight the word the and provide some explanation. That is used because there's only one president in the country. Okay. All right, that's that for now. We'll see you later. Stay safe and healthy. Bye-bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.